Hello and welcome. My name is Juliana. Thank you so much for watching. Today we are going to talk about a gene key or gate or hexagram 63. I will be talking about the human design portion and then the gene key portion later on in the video. This transit is occurring between March 2nd and March 7th. And it's an opportunity for us to see how this energy plays out in ourselves and in the world. Remembering that as we transit and experience the shadow sides of all of these archetypes, it's an opportunity for us to transmute them into a higher expression of these archetypes, knowing that when we do that for ourselves, we do that for the world. So gene key or gate 63 in the human design body graph is in the head center, and it connects to the ajna via gate 4. This is collective circuitry and it's very logical. The quantum human design name is curiosity, and the traditional human design name is doubt. And in the I Ching, or the Book of Changes, it is known as already across or after completion, depending on the commentary that you read. So if you are looking at this gate, whether you have it in your chart or not, for example, I don't have this gate, my partner does, he has the whole channel, the 63-4, I have the 4. And so when this transit is happening, I have a sense of having a defined head center, and I get to have more of the flavor of having the whole channel. So this transit is highlighting how we can use doubt to tap into possibility. Using doubt not as a way that keeps us in doubt, but uses the questioning ability that our mind has and the curiosity that it has to see what else is possible in the world. It's also about seeing endings as beginnings, right? The world is cyclical. Everything is cyclical in our existence. So right close to where we are ending something new is beginning. And a beginning happens from an ending. It's also highlighting the pressure to be certain about your answers or have the answers, and it's very logical. Well, I want to understand why this occurs. So this is very much on the shadow side of this, where when we want to know the answer, it comes from a place of doubt. Doubt in itself is not shadow-like, but it's the attachment to it. And when we start to doubt ourselves, especially, it can turn into a struggle to being certain before taking any action, or suspicion of self or other. This doubt is very much, it's based in a loss of curiosity. Doubt is very heavy. If you think of that, of the energy of when you're doubting something, it's like, I think of it as like just this dark cave, and you don't see light anywhere that might give you another possibility. And so on the full expression of this gate 63, it's the ability to use questioning and curiosity to stimulate new possibility and potential in yourself, your work, your relationships, and the world. And it's to use questions that inspire what needs to happen. So because it's in the head center, right? The head center is a pressure center, which when we're questioning and we ask ourselves these questions like, what should I do next about my relationship? Or how can I best support my partner? Or what's my next step in my business? Or how do I change my abundance story, right? When we ask ourselves that question, when we go, how do I do all of these things? There's this pressure for us individually to find out those answers. Or Why? Why did this happen? Why did, when I did something specific, that it resulted in these other experiences, right? This is an opportunity to ask your questions up. Take the pressure off of yourself to know and ask the questions to the divine, to source. How can I best support my partner today? How can I best show up in the world so that I can support the people who find me? How can I change my abundance story, right? There's a different energy with both of that type of questioning. Why did this situation turn out the way that it did, right? There's a curiosity about it as opposed to putting it down into yourself, having the pressure to figure it out yourself. When we ask up, we then allow inspiration to drop in to the head, whether it's through dreams or picking up a book or hearing a song or overhearing a conversation, or getting inspiration that we just kind of go, oh, maybe that's what I need to do next, right? Or writing these questions out. This is a really great way to use Gate 63 to your benefit. Ask the questions up. One of the things that I do is I often write them out. How can I be the best partner today? How can I best support my partner today? And then I allow that to come. So on the gene key side, Richard Rudd names this reaching the source. And this is very much based on the I Ching, or the Book of Changes, because the Book of Changes is all about cycles. Everything is cyclical, right? You see that everywhere in nature. We have seasons. Everything comes from a seed. In order for other plants to grow, things need to die. Women have their menstrual cycle. Our hormones are on cycles. Men have their own 24-hour cycles. Everything is about cycles. And this specific gene key is all about beginning the cycle again because of the energy of questioning, because of this power of asking what else is there. So on the shadow side, as we've already talked about in the human design part, it's doubt, right? That is that logical part of the brain that is needing certainty but can't find it. And so as I said, doubt's not necessarily bad. Doubt holds the energy of questioning, to look for possibility. But it becomes problematic for us individually and collectively when it doesn't stop, when it goes on and on and on, and that doubt creates this mental pressure that we then seek to end. The pressure gets to be so much we want to end it, and we want to find the answer so that pressure is gone. And it's a collective shadow, but we make it very personal. We turn that questioning, as I said with the gates, right? With the gate, when I was talking about human design, we turn it on ourselves as opposed to asking and making it bigger than ourselves. And so we search for this certainty, which often leads our collective to adhering to very strict rules or dogma, which then gives us the illusion of certainty and helps release us from pressure. So, certainty is important for us because the illusion of certainty gives us a feeling of safety. And this plays out collectively in a lot of the strict rules and dogma that we see in different systems, whether it's family or school, or government or country, or even the weather, like the weather app. We try and find certainty. I know when it's like gonna snow here on Vancouver Island in Canada, everyone is rushing out, right? Because of that, we got to follow the weather, right? And I know this is kind of a funny example. It's like People are glued to their phones or their computers or listening to the weatherman because, oh, we got to listen to that. What if you didn't? What if you were okay with whatever happened, right? What if we asked ourselves, do I need to worry about this right now? Because I tell you, the weather people are often mistaken. So I know that's kind of a funny example, but anyhow, when we doubt and when we turn that doubt in on ourselves, it stimulates comparison and it stimulates that shadow frequency of doubting ourselves in our relationships, doubting our relationships, right? That's when we doubt, we become suspicious of whether it's ourselves or other people. And so the journey to this gift is to remember that we need to doubt in order to evolve. We need to question things, but instead of focusing it inward, we have to focus it on what we're questioning. We need to ask up, as I said before. We need to contemplate this in a way that does not create pressure. So when we start to doubt ourselves, we get criticism and suspicion, right? And that voice in your head, when you get to that place, it is incessant. It does not stop. And so that voice inside your head needs room to express itself. And you can do that either with a safe person or who can really just hear you, or you write it out uncensored in a journal. And often when you allow yourself to express your doubt, your suspicion about yourself or other, you'll find that at the root of it, it's quite comical because you're trying to get this certainty for something that there is no certainty for. And remember that this shadow is very much rooted in fear, and as are all of our shadows, right? And this fear kind of wants us to believe that there is a way around it. And there isn't. There isn't a way around fear. You need to move through fear. You need to walk through the fire of fear in order to get through the other side. And so in order to move through doubt, you got to be willing to be okay with being wrong or living in uncertainty. You just got to be okay with that, right? And it's not, it's less than easy, I'll say. I learned a lot about financial uncertainty working as a waitress for a lot of my life, because you make minimum wage and you rely on the customers and the tables and the busyness of the restaurant in order to bring in the abundance you need to live and pay your bills. So that really taught me a lot of like just being okay with whatever I make on a given night, knowing that there's other times for that money to roll in. And I noticed that if I really felt like I needed to make that money, and that was really present in my experience when I was waitressing, I wouldn't make the money. But if I relaxed into it, right? If I was like, okay, I'm just in uncertainty right now. I don't know how I'm gonna pay my rent, because sometimes I was at that stage years ago, right? Then it would be like I had to surrender to being uncertain, and that's when I would make more money. So the mind doesn't like this. The mind does not like this, and so you most likely will have a nervous system response to this, being in fear. And the state of your nervous system is going to perpetuate the story in the mind. And so one of the ways through to the gift is to learn how to calm your nervous system. And I've shared this quick tip on some of my other videos. You can put your hand on your heart if you are feeling yourself in deep uncertainty or doubting yourself, or you don't know what's happening in the world and you don't know what the next right choice is for you, or anything that you're doubting, that you're finding yourself beginning to experience some anxiety or a mind that won't calm down, you put your hand on your heart, on your chest. You put your hand on your stomach and you breathe. And it really is this simple. And I'll tell you why. It's because the nervous system only responds to the senses. You can't talk your nervous system about feeling afraid. You just can't. You can try to talk your mind out of it. Generally doesn't work because the mind is a very good arguer. So if you touch your body, you are stimulating the sense of touch. When you breathe, you're stimulating your respiratory system, which is directly linked to your nervous system. I would encourage you to put in some solfeggio frequency music or binaural beats. That will also help calm you down because your ears are picking up on sound. You can also hum to yourself. This is why chanting is so supportive for us. I mean, you can just that creates a vibration in the vocal cords that also stimulate the nervous system or the vagus nerve and tell you that you're safe. Okay? So as you move into the gift of inquiry, this is the ability to question without attachment. This is the ability to hold possibility, curiosity, and wonder in your lived experience. Curiosity and wonder to what's happening in the world. Curiosity and wonder to what's happening to other people. Curiosity and wonder to where you are in your own personal life path. Right? It is this ability to gain an understanding of where you came from. So you look back on your story and you go, oh, I arrived here because of all of these different experiences that I had along the way. Oh, here I am now because of all of these different experiences and choices I made. Okay, if I know this, if I know that this led me here, asking up, what could I do? What choices could I make? What steps could I implement to head that way? Right? Now that is using doubt in a way that is questioning, right? It's not going, I don't know what to do. I get here sometimes. What's my next right step? I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing in my life, right? That's so heavy. But if I go, I want to go there. I want to make that commitment to myself in my life and head in that direction in my business. What am I going to do? I'm going to see what got me to where I am, and then I'm going to ask up, what can I do to get myself here? And I'm going to wait for the possibility to arrive. So how can you use this current energy? Calm your mind through your nervous system with your breath, your humming, or even gazing. So looking at something that brings you a lot of joy. I often look out my window because there's nature out there. And whenever I look at nature, I feel better. And then choose one subject to be curious about. Can you widen your perspective on your questioning? Instead of asking yourself down in, can you ask up? How can I make this change in my life? How can I do something different? Who do I need to get support from? Can you begin to see the endless possibilities available? It can be a tricky one because we are conditioned to believe that there's very limited possibilities to us, especially based on where we came from. What if there were endless, infinite possibilities? I don't know, but what if there was? And can you develop an attitude of non-attachment to the answers that come? I remember a little while ago, I was choosing to do this coaching program. I was trying to decide, and it was quite a bit of money, and I didn't really have it at the time, and I didn't know what to do. I really, really wanted to do this. My spleen, I'm a splenic projector. My spleen was just like, yep, that's the right thing to do. But my mind could not wrap its wrap its way around the money that I would need to spend monthly to do it. And I went to sleep that night and I asked, I said, what do I need to know, or who do I need to talk to? Show me what I need to do to get clarity before I went to sleep at night. That night, I dreamt, and it said clear as day in my dream, call your mom. I woke up very surprised by that because money conversations have often been challenging in our relationship. And so, but I listened. So I called my mom, and she responded with the most compassionate and open-hearted response, which had me then be able to make the decision that I wanted to make, and I signed up for the program. And it has been, I'm 6 months through it, and it's been tremendous. So instead of questioning in, I asked up and I received a message from a place that I didn't expect. So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope this was helpful. And if you do like this video, please like, share, or subscribe. I really appreciate that. It's a pleasure to be here with you, and I really thank you for watching.